This next exercise is called supportive fingering, okay? Again, I'd like to just start out by demonstrating it, okay? All four fingers down. Start with the little finger. A good place to start is with the little finger right on the 12th fret on the G string. All four fingers down next to the fret. It goes like this. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that's the basic drill. It looks real simple. You go, well, what's so special about that? Well, there's just some conditions that I have to put with it. First of all, we're going to try to teach our fingers to stay down until we tell them to move. Okay, that's critical so we don't have fingers when we're playing and they're flying all over the place and they're just sympathetically following one another around. And until we train them to do specifically what we want, that's exactly what they'll do. You'll see this in a lot of beginner players. So supportive fingering is this. All four fingers are down next to the fret. I'm going to play this top note, which is the G. Okay, now I'm only going to move my first finger, my index finger. Now notice this note is still going. Notice I didn't do this and let that up and then pick that up. I'm going to learn to hang on to the length of these notes for as long as possible. Something that you may or may not realize, that the longer you can hang on to notes, the better. Essentially, it's this. The longer that your long is, the more effective your short will be. Does that make sense? The longer you can make a quarter note and hang on to it and make it more legato, the more effective your short rhythmic variations and ghost notes and stuff are going to be, because you create greater contrast. So it's critical that we learn to hang on to notes for their maximum amount of duration. Okay, so supportive fingering helps us do that. Plus, it develops a lot of strength and independence in these two weak digits. Okay, so I'm going to play this top note, let it ring, move just the first finger, move just the second finger, move just the third finger. Notice that's still ringing. Now, I'm going to move the fourth finger. Now, these are all four down. Now I'm going to move just my first finger, okay, just my second, just my third, now just my fourth. It looks easy, but it's really quite hard. Now remember, I'm not doing this, okay? I'm not doing this stuff. Thumbs flat back on the neck. I got my right hand. I got my floating thumb, so I'm going to play the right. Play the little finger, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Come back up, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Okay, now notice how nice and even and long and legato every note is. Now, a common problem that I think you're going to run into is you'll do this. That's fine. This is easy. This is a piece of cake right here. Now here's where it gets hard, is coming back up. And you're going to get this kind of either that or you're going to get this. And the minute you move this, all of this stuff is going to pick up. It's going to want to follow it, okay? So these are the things that you have to fight on this drill. Remember, it's not this. It's not this thing. I mean, those are the notes, but that completely defeats the purpose. Now, all four fingers are down, perpendicular to the fret, next to the fret. Nice even touch. Play the top note, let it ring. Fourth finger, first finger. Now, something that gets a lot of people in trouble on this drill is they do this. And on the third finger, they'll, rather than playing on the heel of the fingertip, something like that, they'll overshoot and they wind up putting the string about in the middle of the finger. Okay? and then they do the same thing. Now all of a sudden when they try to come back up, they got like a concave finger here, or they're overextended, and they can't get this out of the way of this string ringing. Okay? So if you run into that problem, realize here's probably what you're doing. And you're overshooting that. Now you shot yourself in the foot. So make sure that you use the heel of the fingertip, especially on the ring and the pinky finger. So to show you one more time, it's this. Okay, now when I do this in real well, let me back up. To start, you should only do this on 2 strings until you can do it accurately. Now, once you can do it without any wasted motion, everything connected, and your fingers aren't chasing each other around, then you can move this to add the 3rd string, and you would do this. You get the idea? So then, once you feel like you can do that, then I would recommend, I used to play games where I'd do 2 frets, and then 2 frets, and then 3 frets, and 3 frets, and then 4 frets, something like that. And when you can do this accurately, then, and only then, add the metronome. So to be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat the top note and move it down. Repeat the top note and move it down. Repeat the top note and move it down. Don't pick them up, just slide them. Maybe try 4 strings. Back up. Now come back up. Come back up. Repeat the top note. Repeat the top note. You get the point? Okay, now that's supportive fingering. Now, this exercise is so deep, it applies to everything you're going to play. This will teach you how to hold on to the notes for maximum length. It will really help develop strength and dexterity in these 2 weak digits. This is critical. Now be careful with this drill. It's deceptive. It's a lot harder than it looks, and be very careful, because if you overdo this, you can really injure these weaker digits. Now just take your time. For most people, it's anywhere from like 3 weeks to 3 months, and then after that, you should have this worked into your practice habit. And then pretty soon you're playing all kinds of lines and your fingers aren't flying all around and wasting a lot of motion. So that's supportive fingering.